Most work-from-home freight brokers start off as single-member LLCs. And what a single-member LLC is just saying that one person had this idea of starting their own business, so you go out and set up an LLC, name it, get all of the legal documents taken care of. Now you are a legal entity, you have your LLC set up, and you are one person in charge of that business. Now, just because you're a single-member LLC does not mean that you'll be building this business on your own without the help of other team members. Because I believe that it's important for you to build a team around you, because you can only take your business so far. You're going to need other team members at some point that help you go to other levels. And what you have to determine as a business owner is when is the best time for you to start to incorporate other members into your team. And yes, finances will play a part in that, so we want to make sure that we prepare for that. In my view, there's one team member that's more important than anything else, and I felt like I needed to start my business off with this team member already on board, so he or she could understand my business, understand how it worked. And I said, hey, whatever cost comes with this team member, I am going to go ahead and set that aside. Accept that as an expense to my business, because I feel like this is a very important hire that I need now. So in today's video, I'll share with you the first hire that I decided to make in my freight broker business on day one. And yes, by the way, this person still works with me today. And I'll also give you the details on how much it costs to utilize the services of this type of professional. I'll talk to you about why I decided to make this hire, what the real purpose of it was, and then you can take a look at this hire and decide if or when you'll make a similar hire. So let's jump right into the business. Now, when I first started my freight broker business, I must admit I was a little bit overwhelmed. And the reason why I felt that way is because I just had so much responsibility. I was a CEO of the business. I had to make sure that we were plotting a course, moving the business in a direction where we could win. I also was an operations manager, so I had to make sure that we had processes and procedures in place, written processes and procedures. And then I was a salesperson of the business, so I had to make sure that we were going in the right direction as far as sales were concerned. So it was a lot of stuff that was on the table at that time. But there was one position that I knew that I did not have the capacity for. I did not have the understanding, the knowledge of. So I knew because of where I wanted to take the business, I wanted to grow this business to $1 million business. That was my goal. So I needed someone on my team who could help me get to where it is that I wanted to go. So I decided to hire a CPA, a certified public accountant. I think that that was probably the best move that I've made, because it has helped me tremendously when it comes down to building wealth, to building a financial infrastructure for my business. You see, I believe that you have to have a plan, you have to be intentional, and you have to have people on your team that know how to get to where it is that you're going. That's why I think that it's important to hire some things out. And I don't think that you need to hire a lot of different things out, especially when you first get started. But for me, one of the most important decisions that I made, and I made that on day one of my business, was hiring a CPA. And no, I didn't just hire a CPA because I wanted someone to file my taxes. Because if you're just using a CPA to file your taxes, I promise you, you're not getting the most out of your CPA. Your CPA will be able to look at your business, the finances of your business. For example, when you're paying yourself, usually we start off paying ourselves owner draws. Your accountant will be able to take a look at how you're paying yourself, how your money is currently flowing, and decide if it's time to restructure your business, because you could be an LLC right now, and it may be in your best benefit to take a S election so that now you can pay yourself two salaries, a W-2 and a profit sharing. That way you pay the least amount of taxes. That's something that you really need to understand, is that taxes is probably going to be your biggest expense. And what an accountant will do is to help you save on taxes and build more wealth. And my accountant keeps me out of big trouble. I cannot tell you the number of times that I've received letters from the state, from the IRS, saying that I owed taxes from a different pay period, or maybe I owed business privilege taxes from a different year. What I do is I give that paperwork to my accountant. He requests different documents from me, and then he types it up in that beautiful accountant talk, sends that paperwork in, and I haven't heard anything about it since then. We're talking over $10,000 that they were asking me, requesting that I pay. So you, I believe, have to have a good accountant, a good tax professional on your team, because they are not just about filing taxes, but more about keeping you on the straight and narrow, making sure that you stay in good standing with the IRS and with the state, because they could make life and business very hard for you. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, if this person provides this much value to you, Brandon, you probably pay a lot of money for his services. And I do pay a decent amount of money for his services, but I don't think it's a big amount of money at all. Let's take a look at how much I pay my CPA. Especially, I don't think it's a big amount of money when I compare it to the value that he brings to the table. So here's what I pay the CPA. Number one, for him to do my business taxes, I pay $1,800. For my personal taxes, I pay $500. So that's $2,300 together. Every 3 months, he files my quarterly taxes. That's $175 per quarter. So that's 4 times. That's $680 added to that $2,300. So that's $2,980 right there. And then I have 2 meetings with the CPA every year. So that's $150 per meeting. So that's $300 added to that $2,890. So that's about $3,190. So let's just say about $3,200 per year for the services of a certified public accountant. Does that sound like a big sum of money to you? How much do you pay your CPA? I would certainly appreciate it if you dropped a comment in the comment section. Let us know what you think about that price, and also please share the price that you pay your CPA. Now, I think that having the services of a CPA are outstanding. Definitely a big benefit to me and my business. But I don't think it's a decision that you should just go and make randomly. I think that you should have a CPA based on what your goals are. If you're a serious business owner, if you're serious about building wealth, then I personally think it's a great person to have on your team because of what value they bring to the team, how they can help you navigate your way to the success that you want to achieve. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I certainly hope this information has been helpful. If you're interested in learning more about the freight broker business, I'll leave a free link in the description, and it's my 5-video series titled How the Load Movement Process Works. It will give you a look into the freight broker business and let you see how we move loads, how we make money, and that way you can get a better idea of how this business works before you come into it. And then if you're interested in learning more about how we go out and find the customers that we work with, how we find shippers, I'll leave a free video right here. So until the next time, I wish you the very best in your life and business. Always remember this: we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence is not one act, but habits. If you sow a thought in your mind, from that thought comes an action. If you sow an action in your mind, from that action you develop certain habits. If you start doing certain habits, after a while you develop a certain character and you walk into your destiny. See you at the top, because the bottom is much too crowded.